moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB, get up, make every day count up. Wasted people, do your part, play a role, get where you need to. Look, the vibe we dealing, let's find a solution. The vibe we dealing, let's find a solution. Yeah. No respect on selfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that we feel happen and I got blue skies. I love it when people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Billies, yeah. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show my people. Billies our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, it's the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. No respect on selfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that we feel happen and I got blue skies. I love it when people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Billies, yeah. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Get up, make every day count up. Wasted people, do your part, play a role, get where you need to. Look and tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling? It's the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WB. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show my people. Billies our hope, so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, it's the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. No respect on selfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that we feel happen and I got blue skies. I love it when people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Billies, yeah. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Billies, wake up, Billies. Everybody got.
All right, welcome. This is WUB, Wake Up Billies, Morning Vibes. It's a Thursday morning, and we welcome you to the program this morning. I'm Nuri Mohammed, and as you know, we go through certain steps before we get into the main course. We do have a guest.
Also over some inland areas this afternoon. Tonight, showers will also over some inland areas this afternoon. Tonight, showers will decrease and become isolated. Winds over the open sea will be from the northeast at 5 to 15 knots, and seas will be choppy. High temperatures today will be around 80 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 84 inland, but only 72 degrees up in the mountains. The outlook for Friday and Friday night is for mainly fair weather with only isolated showers developing. There is a low tide at 6:35 this morning, a high comes up at 12:33 this afternoon, another low is at 6:32 this evening, and another high at 12:31 tonight. The sun will rise at 6:26 this morning and set at 5:42 this evening. The moon comes up at 9:03 this morning and goes down at 9:18 tonight. In the sargassum update, satellite observations continue to show a few sargassum mats offshore. These mats will likely remain mostly offshore during the next few days with minimal impacts along the coast of Belize. With that, we end this report from the Belize Weather Bureau.
The first private radio in Belize.
There was corruption in the Ministry of Rural Transformation and stated that a staff was going to Belize to collect checks for commission on materials that were purchased by the government of Belize. It further alleges that some of the benefits derived from were going to the minister as well as the CEO in the Ministry of Rural Development, that is the Honorable Oscar Ricania and Valentino Shaw. Yesterday we checked with the owner of Benny's, who told us that the claim is false and he considers it scandalous and libelous. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister John Briceño explained that the origin of the message and called it mischief making.
Actually, that was sent to me from a number out of Mexico. So obviously when you see that kind of thing, you know that something is wrong. I sent it to the cabinet secretary so that he could forward it to both the CEO and to the ministry. And I guess he was in a hurry and he put it out in his status, no? And then he brought it down very quickly when he was told that it was on his status. But the truth of that of it, and I'm sure that the ministry they will talk about it and making allegations, doing business with Benny's. And I had somebody check with Benny's, and they're saying that they have done no business with the Ministry of Rural Transformation. So obviously somebody's just trying to create some kind of mischief.
So could it have been like a scammer or something?
I don't know if it's a scammer, but I think somebody just got a Mexican number, a Mexican number, and sent the message.
Ordinarily, how would the process work if you just summarize it in terms of procurement with these different hardwares? Is it that you have to have multiple options?
No, it depends. It depends on the amount that you are writing. But actually, the irony is that most of the monies that is being spent through rural transformation is, I think, from the EU. And so they have a very, very rigorous process on how you go about doing that. So again, it's somebody trying to create mischief, not really knowing how you go about doing these procurement.
And even
there's nothing to investigate. If the people at Benny's is saying we do no business with rural transformation, what else is there to investigate?
What roadworks do you understand is happening in the north, perhaps even in your constituency, and the assertions about incompleted work being paid for? Can you point to the fact that these works are being completed and paid?
Well, I don't know how am I going to know that. That's a really that's some questions you could ask respectfully.
Of highly skilled and professional employees, staff who work at our ministry. We have clear oversight from the Ministry of Finance and other development partners. So every operation that we conduct at the Ministry of Rural Transformation is above board and in line with financial regulations.
There were several different allegations being made, though one of them was that payments are being approved for incomplete works or works that weren't being executed in the north, as well as a sharp increase in spending in the ministry.
That is total nonsense. I'll be honest, that is total nonsense. I'll be honest, that is total nonsense.
Ricania said that the author of the autonomous message
is not the reason for why we're here, and of course that is not going to detract us from what we need to do. There's a lot of work to be done, and that's what we're going to focus on.
In other news, yesterday we asked the Prime Minister to explain what the BTL chairman would have meant when he stated that Cabinet must now decide the next step policy-wise regarding the intended acquisition of the SpeedNet/Smart.
Means is it that after their consultations, the executive will decide if this consolidation should occur?
I think by policy, with the policymakers, from our end is the policy, what we do through the PUC, Public Utilities Commission. The minister pointed out to cabinet that they are already working in signing an SI, which I believe will do anyway with or without a consolidation. I think it's time now to be able to look at the telecommunication sector to see what kind of what regulations you can put to be able to better manage that industry. The telecommunications now, as you can appreciate, is moving away now from telco to a tech company. It's moving from being telecoms to providing technical services. They make the case that their talk time revenues has gone down considerably, about 70-80%. And so as a company, they have to reinvent themselves. You know, remember when Dell computers they were Dell computers, they removed the computers because no, it's Dell, because now they do a lot of other things. They produce more than just computers. Likewise with the telecommunication company. So what he was referring on that is that then we as a government and through the PUC don't have to be able to set up the policies and what kind of regulations we want to put in place.
Notably, the Prime Minister does not believe that the primary legislation will be required to allow for a return.
It's important to note is that the Public Utilities Commission also have an office where the public can go to make complaints. But I'm telling them the public does not know that. So now they have to make sure that the public understands that if you feel aggrieved by any of these companies, you could come to us and we're going to look after whatever you feel that you may be aggrieved.
But not monopoly.
I'm sorry?
Not regarding a monopoly.
No, but everything. No, but
so
everything.
If that is included, don't you expect opposition from the social partners, senators?
Sorry?
Don't you expect when it goes to parliament,
But
there will be opposition?
That's not going to parliament.
All right.
Meanwhile, asked if he supports a monopoly, Minister Shabat responded that there are some 23 broadband providers in Belize, and therefore he cannot say that there would be a monopoly. We discussed this also with the Prime Minister.
Said that he does not believe that you can say there's a monopoly when you have 23 other broadband providers, but BTL in this move, when the other 3 cable companies were in play, you were singling out 3. So if you want
changes, is going to crash. As it is right now in their projections, without a consolidation, their growth is flatlining for the next 5 years. And whilst revenues are not going up, costs continues to go up. So there has to be a way where they could consolidate and create more efficiencies in the industry. That would make BTL more successful and by extension Social Security and all our taxpayers. Thank you.
In relation to the claim by several media houses that they were victimized by BTL over the years for their positions on matters of national importance and which they were critical of the government, the PM explained that by designating media as an essential service, concerns should be resolved overall.
Point we discussed in cabinet when Mr. Vasquez was alleging that he was illegally cut his services for whatever reasons. The chairman explained that what happened is that there was at that moment they were transferring to a new system, an automated system that once you reach where you when you're not paying your bill, they would automatically the automated system would automatically cut. And there was an error in Mr. Vasquez's account. He was cut for about 2 hours. He was without service, but the media fixed it and they apologized to him. But from that discussion and Mr. Vasquez trying to create the feeling as if we're out to get him, what we suggested in cabinet is that under the regulations, we want to put the media as one of the as a part of essential services, so that they cannot be just cut just arbitrarily. There has to be a process. Obviously, if you don't pay your bill, they will cut your service because you have to pay for your bill. But you will be given enough notice for you to be able to go and pay for your services. So it's important for us to give that side of comfort to the media that they were not going to be sanctioned because they are for or against the government or a minister or anything.
Appreciate though, PM, that other instances of transgressions have not been addressed by the BTL, and obviously understanding that different administrations were in power. There have been instances when Prem Television as well, in relation to the ballot, there's
I'm not sure. I don't. Listen, wait, man. Let's not mix up
with anyone else.
Let's not mix up things, you know.
30, excuse me, but we'll open the phone lines up until 30, excuse me, but we'll open the phone lines up until then. Stay tuned.
Informative, accurate, current information. Krems Newscast. Local, regional, current information. Krems Newscast. Local, regional, and international news. Weather and sports.
For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Man, that's me. My data done, and I really need to get my ad out today.
Really? Well, you can join our smart group plan.
Really? How that work?
Easy, let me tell you.
Whether it's family, friends, or your small business, we've got the perfect plan for every group. More members equals more savings, more connections. Smart group plans bring the connectivity you love to you and your circle. No one gets left behind. Explore Share One package option and add on unlimited data, calls, and SMS for the entire group for less than $50 per member. Visit any smart showroom countrywide or email sales@speednet-wireless.com to sign up today. Smart, bringing people together.
Areas. Number 3, subscribe areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
WUB, Wake Up Belize, Morning Vibes. It's a Thursday morning. It's the 22nd day of January 2026. I'm Nuri Mohammed in the driver's seat this morning. We will open the phone lines between 7 and 7:30 to give you a chance to call in. And after 7:30, we do have a guest coming in. So let's begin. Our number here is 2 on the way forward with the vision of this new minister and new CEO. And I was very comfortable with the conversation, understanding exactly what this particular minister had in mind as compared to the former minister, who was Mr. Karim Musa, very effective minister in this area of home affairs, and we're sorry to lose him. But it's a decision from the cabinet, decision from the prime minister, and this minister, Mira, comes in with a vast background experience of military and very disciplined. And as I listen to his vision, I can see that he has great concern for the overall management of the crime situation in the country, advancing the police department and other aspects of the ministry. But he's particularly concerned that certain aspects of the program be adjusted, particularly when it comes to the transformational aspect of what we're dealing with the youths on the street. His thinking and his vision, and I think it's shared also by the CEO, is that there should be a transitional period for these youths to move not into just accepting money for or stipend for the work that they do. As you see, many of these youths are working on the street, working with the Belize City Council. But if I understand his mission and his vision of what he would like to see, is that they would be transformed into entrepreneurs, into building an experience of enterprising and working for themselves as opposed to drawing finances from the government. Our first call. Welcome, caller.
Good morning, Belize. I have just been told from one of the members of the Bowman family, who are very enthusiastic sponsors of cross-country and cycling in Belize. Cycling is our biggest discipline in this country. It takes precedence to football. I've just been told by one of the members of the Bowman family that Minister Anthony Marler is working and preparing a paid national Belize cycling team. That is very good news. That is very good news. My father, Anselm Wait, if he were alive now, he would be joyous. I am joyous to hear that is coming about. My efforts have paid off.
Yes.
For more reference, go to As the Wheels Turn, August 26th, 2023 or 2024. As the Wheels Turn, August 26th or 28th. In that video, I am asking for a Belize national cycling team, a paid Belize national cycling team. And if this comes about, and it's coming from a very good source, from the Bowman family, I would want to see cyclists on that team: Byron Pope, Oscar Quiros, and Derek Cheveria. I would want to see homegrown, born and bred Belizeans on that team. Let's cross our fingers and hope this is so. But I've been told from a very good source. So I firmly believe it will happen.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Hyde, for that. Keep your fingers crossed.
All right.
Paid cycling team of no less than 10 cyclists and the coaches.
Okay, well, that sounds like good news, and I do hope that that's not just a rumor, but a reality, because we do need, a paid.
Thank you. It's coming from a very good source.
All right.
Sorry, you said something and I interrupted.
No. I am agreeing with you, and I'm congratulating. Our numbers here is 2805. We had with the Minister Oscar Mira, as well as his CEO, Elton Bennett, former Admiral of the Coast Guard, whose vision, I think, was a little bit more detailed, but along the same lines, the same vision of the minister, that we want to move these youths not into a welfare program where they will forever be receiving a stipend just to clean yards and to clean drains and to work with the city council. But his vision is that we capacitate them and build the ability of them or the transition of them into being entrepreneurs. And I won't share the particular ideas of how we would like to see them capacitated, but there were very good ideas that came forward. The Commissioner of Police was also in the meeting and was very supportive of this idea. He had and expressed his own concerns about the LIU, and that is what we were looking at yesterday with a subsequent meeting with the director, Mr. Dawson, as well as Futi Gongara, just tossing around the ideas of what can be done to strengthen LIU and to get even further support from the ministry as well as the cabinet. But it got me thinking also about how we're looking at crime in Belize and how we continue doing things illegally. Meaning that is what a kind of crime in Belize is very, very difficult, because the amount of attention and resources that is placed into organized crime, crime of fraud, and crime of money laundering, crime, which are all crimes, which are million-dollar crimes. We continue to focus on the 10 cents, 15 cents crime of the streets, meaning that the resources of the police department in making the society safe focuses mostly on those areas where citizens feel unsafe, which is the streets. So we don't see fraud. We don't see money laundering. We don't see money laundering. We don't see those other aspects of crime, even though those are more expensive to the society than what is going on with rude boy and rude gal. It is not taking away from the fact that we have to continue to pursue any criminal activity and deal with criminals, including locking them down if they are not responding to efforts to rehabilitate and to change. However, as much pressure as we want to put in this aspect of crime, we cannot forget that this is the most expensive part of crime. This is and all the money laundering types of crimes that we see. But where do we put our attention when we're fighting crime? On the streets. And so we continue, and that is not a new thing. As a matter of fact, it's not even a Belizean thing. It is a way of which the opposition, who is not presently in government, criticizes the party that is in government, pointing out, look at the crime statistics. Oh, crime is out of control. Look how much murder that take place. Look how much robberies is taking place. And so that looks as though the government is not doing what it's supposed to do for citizen security. And so all of the attention is placed on that, because many times it's the opposition through the media that is focusing on the incompetence of the government to keep crime down. So I'm saying that while we are paying attention to this form of crime, many times we're not detecting this form of crime. And this rich man crime is something that is even more a hurt to us economically. It breaks us down in terms of having the resources necessary to invest in development. It has a long list of areas that hurts us financially primarily. And really, it gives the impression that the only type of criminals that we have in our society are people who are running around on the street. And now, why is it that it becomes that way in many cases? Because citizen security has a lot to do with violence. It has to do with safety. It has to do with the freedom to walk on the street at any time and not have to worry. It has to do with keeping your doors open as compared to locking down and putting burglar bars, etc., to protect you. So therefore, the government's attention. But it does not mean at any time that we're not dealing with fraud, we're not dealing with games that are being played with in ministries, where corruption exists, where public officers are also involved in scheming off monies within the government system. That is also crime. But it is very rare that we are able to highlight that unless there's a big issue for 20 days or so in the news cycle, and then it disappears. Whereas this crime on the street and the notorious figures that come up and the names that come up in this kind of street crime is always in the news. It's almost a daily event to talk about who killed who shoot who the jack who, what happened to this Chinaman, what happened to this one here and that one. That is the news that is sexy. But it's very, very, very important as we approach the idea of a safe society, that we recognize that there are also costs involved in trying to detect crime that is called organized crime or white collar crime, as they call it in the United States. Welcome, caller.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, my brother.
Yeah, brother Nuri, good morning.
Yes, man.
I did listen to you. And you're right and fine. Did you bring this message that you're putting out right now? Did you bring it up with the commissioner, the minister, and the CEO? Guys, very important. These are the crimes they have to look into, because then they breed the problem on the street. When they big time crime, they know they look on that. But lot of them get in a pound lady, catch a taxi. And when they search the taxi, guns or ammunition was in there, and you know how that go, everybody gone up. She and guy be in a court. But this gentleman never have 1 second in a court, you know. He can pass and go about his business. If me and you have a gun and go in a Chetomal and they catch you over there, you know where I'm to be, or any other part of the world. But you see, these are the things that we have to look into. These fellas can make a call and somebody up top, the man, let the man make the man go through. We don't got an opportunity there, we are take we lick. And we should. If you do a crime, you take your lick. But all the way do crime to take their lick. We can't get a law for me and a law for you different. That's an unjust law. And an unjust law is no law at all. And this is the way we have to talk about in this country. It's sad. When I see that man come here in a private jet, can't see someone and then big man, he must come see. We know, find out with a gun, and he get a pass. Explain to them where they happen, because we see every single day corruption at the highest height in this country. You know, I need to talk to them and show me off, but you know, you ask me nothing, you know, and that's how they hurt with society. And when we see that, what them body could get played at, so we'll go ahead we. So I'm to we. If they could do it, why we can't do it? They have to set the example too. They have to set the example as the head of the state, as the head of the country. But no, most of them are the biggest criminal. But then get one pass. And like you said, the robbery and the murder between gang and let them make them kill out themselves. It's better for we could thief more and get away. You see, then all the attention got to that. And the big man then get a pass. So you're perfectly right, my brother. Yes. Keep up the good work, brother Nuri, but ask any hard question, brother.
All right.
And you take it.
All right. Respect to you, sir. This that I'm bringing out is not unique to Belize. It's to be understood that the rich, the wealthy, the well-placed, the well-connected, normally their crimes are not detected immediately. Why? Because there's no department like that. We don't have an FBI. We don't have a tobacco and what is called arms and tobacco agency that goes and looks into the detail. We don't have an IRS that goes in and looks at the very details of money. We have some law that says we want to see unexplained wealth, but I haven't heard anything about that unexplained wealth law when we have so much people around here that have unexplained wealth. So where are we going to show the example to ensure that the poor don't think that they're being marginalized and treated as different than anybody else? If it is a crime, the reason why that symbol in America of justice has a blind lady or a blindfolded lady, because she's not blind. She's blindfolded to ensure that she doesn't peek to see what is on the scale. She hides herself, puts the scale out, and let the evidence, let the proof prove who in fact is guilty in this manner. We don't have that. We have a who know who and who there with who and why no make no nice. We see how we could work that out, and that is the kind of situation that frustrates people at the base, because they're not simple, they're not stupid. It's not that they don't read and understand what's going on in the society, but the majority of our attention, and I'm not talking about just this government, I am talking in a sense globally, but I'm keeping it real when it comes to Belize, that we are still in a mindset that crime in this country is focused on the poor. And all of our detection and all of our efforts is focused on the poor. So that when we look at our strategy as to what we are going to do over the next month, 6 months, or a year, a very small part of that is focused on organized crime, of the crime that rich people and well-placed people commit, and then they commit crime. It's not as though they are crimeless and these are nice people, civil people. No. But why does the poor get the attention? Because this is where you find disorder. This is where you find a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, a lot of citizen security in jeopardy, because when a person go crazy and start to shoot gun, then one year know to shoot gun, then the thief with money, but then one year where they shoot gun is causing safety issues. It's causing me not to be able to walk in the street or have my children walk in the street safely. So the attention has to be here. It's not as though we want to remove the attention from there. No, we need the attention there. Examples. We don't got nobody in a Colby or in a way you call Belize Central. Examples. We don't got nobody in a Colby or in a way you call Belize Central Prison outside of that attorney that got in trouble recently, who has now been released. We have not seen no lawyers. We have not seen no high-placed individual. We saw the corruption going on in the area of real estate. We saw deaths in real estate. We hear the corruption that's going on in the free zone with tobacco. Who is in jail? Who's been arrested? Who has been detained? Who is being questioned? So we need to review our approach to how we are going to deal with this issue of crime.
Hey, what's up, guys? Brick City here. You're watching WB, and this. Hey, what's up, guys? Brick City here. You're watching WB, and this is XTV. All right, gotta say big respect to our sponsors. 4 Point is XTV. All right, gotta say big respect to our sponsors. 4 Point Security.
I will small people know we just left Bakatong and now we take a stroll and we end up the Havana. But when we get to Havana, we book where I give it some saltfish. See that? Saltfish. Don't know anything but check. So what we can do, I talk to brother and I run down to it. Okay. But actually this is our picture, this is our big jack. With this kind of picture, this was here for maybe 2-3 years. And a very nice thing for the older heads will know about it, right? Okay, and how you cook this? This you could either boil it, you could hash it, you could fry it. This is our mackerel right here. Mackerel. And this is our pagi. So you don't dry look, you don't fry already, right?
Tired of replacing light bulbs? LEDs are what you need. LEDs last up to 30,000 hours. That's 30 times longer than incandescent bulbs, and up to 8 times longer than compact fluorescents. So less changing and less trash. Planet Earth thanks you. And the LED experts at Brothers Habet and Habet will help you find the best LED solution, with colors for every room and mood, starting as low as $6.95. You can even get LED strips for home, office, and industrial use. So say goodbye to fluorescent tubes forever. And because they use up to 90% less energy, you save money. Money you can spend on other things. So head to Brothers Habet or Habet and Habet today. You can also call, email, or Facebook us. Have a brilliant day.
En Atlantic Bank, tu comodidad es nuestra prioridad. Nuestro centro de contacto está diseñado para mejorar tu experiencia bancaria. El apoyo que necesitas. Para mayor seguridad, es posible que necesitemos verificar tu identidad con un conjunto de preguntas sencillas. Recuerda, Atlantic Bank nunca solicitará tu nombre de tu usuario ni contraseña de Atlantic Online por llamada telefónica, mensaje de texto o correo electrónico, asegurando que tu información personal permanezca segura y protegida. Nuestro equipo de disponible de lunes a viernes de 8 a.m. a 6 p.m. en inglés y en español. Simplemente marca al 223-1212. Esta es la línea dedicada para nuestro centro de contacto. Atlantic Bank se compromete a brindarte un servicio excepcional y las herramientas que necesitas para administrar tus finanzas de manera conveniente y segura. Aprovecha al máximo nuestro servicio del centro de contacto.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Man, that's me. My data done, and I really need to get my ARA out today.
Really? Well, you can join our smart group plan.
Really? How that work?
Easy, let me tell you.
Whether it's family, friends, or your small business, we've got the perfect plan for every group. More members equals more savings, more connections. Smart group plans bring the connectivity you love to you and your circle. No one gets left behind. Explore Share One package options and add on unlimited data, calls, and SMS for the entire group for less than $50 per member. Visit any Smart showroom countrywide or email sales@speednet-wireless.com to sign up today. Smart, bringing people together.
Of appliances that just don't last?
I always dream of owning my own home. I'm a single mom of 2 boys, so I want to leave something for my children.
In my case, moving up here in Ladyville in 1978, it was a similar housing program, and my grandmother bring us up here to Ladyville when I was 1 year old, and came into a housing program in the new site area, and that changed our life completely because basically my grandmother said we were from house to house in the city. I had a roof over my head, you don't have to worry about moving and stuff like that, so I could feel the same joy that Shahid and others, the hundreds who have received houses before. So I would like to see more of this get done in Ladyville, and of course the country of Belize.
Many young people right now, it's kind of difficult to get your own land and a home. So for me, it's a great opportunity to start. Because I know it's mine, I go invest in my own.
Well, we are starting the new year with a new starter house, no? And that is very good for all of us. With this will be the 8th starter house, and it's 8 families that are benefiting. I would like we be inaugurating at least 1,000, but it's just one. And maybe in the future will be another one, and that is good. That is the way to continue this new year.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
Welcome back. This is WUB, Wake Up Belize, Morning Vibes on a Thursday morning, the 22nd day of January, the first month of the year 2026. Our guest now is I know I put on no accolades on this man. It's my brother, but I want to set him up. He is the president of the Public Service Union, Mr. Dean Flowers. And we've asked him to come here. He's on a campaign, but not a political campaign, but he's on a campaign to speak on some of the issues that is confronting his union. Welcome, Dean. We appreciate your being here.
Hi, good morning, Brother Nuri, and good morning, Belize. Thanks, as usual, for welcoming me and giving me the opportunity to dialogue and to reason with the Belizean people, no?
All right. And the reasoning will go on because at the close of our interview, we will open up the phone lines and give folks to ask questions that I might not be posing to you. But let's start here. You've been very vocal recently, not just about labor issues, but you've been talking about national and governance type questions in your interviews that you've been doing in the media. From your vantage point as the president of the Public Service Union, what do you see as the greatest threat right now in the integrity of Belize's public service?
Oh. What's the greatest threat in the integrity of the Belize public service? I would have to say our greatest threat is a collective body called the Cabinet of Belize. I think that's the greatest threat that that the public service is facing. And I say that because the public service of Belize should be insulated from political interference. Insulated. It should be governed and administered by the Public Services Commission, an independent commission that is responsible for recruitment, promotion, transfers, dismissal, and compensation as it relates to any public officer. However, that commission has now been fully politicized, and so there is no true independence in that commission. And so what needs to occur is that the manner in which the Public Service Commission is appointed needs to change, and needs to change quickly if we're supposed to improve public service or safeguard taxpayers' dollars for public service. That's the first thing that needs to do. And so why do I say cabinet is the greatest threat? Because you now have cabinet who has many as chief executive officers who are political appointees, and as I prefer to refer to them, political creatures who are injected in the public service not to effect good public policy, but to determine who will win, who will be the next set of millionaires during our term, who will get the contracts, who will get victimized, who will get work or employed to do work that they never do. And that's why we are now facing hundreds of ghost workers in the public service across both administrations.
What do you mean by ghost workers? Please explain.
People are given an employment letter.
Open vote workers?
Yeah, open vote workers are given an employment letter and they never show up to work. But they're getting a salary every 15th and never ending. And that happening for years.
So there people are hired, but they're not given any supervision. There's no supervision over their work at all.
Absolutely.
And you're saying it numbers in the hundreds.
Yeah, if not in the thousands.
Is this a specific to this government, or is this a general?
Generally, actually, I always say this, Nuri. Let's call a speed a speed. I think this matter of ghost workers became much more prevalent under the former administration, and I must give kudos to the current Minister of Public Service, who has decided that he wants to really look at this matter to try to identify how
insubordinate to those who are supervising them. But you know, Dr. Dylan Vernon in his book Clientelism brings out the fact that, number one, this is not a Belizean situation. It's very prevalent throughout the Caribbean. And it has a lot to do with, I want to take care of you when I get in the office. And sometimes take care of you that just carry this and you want to get a job. So you end up with many workers who are empowered not by being in the service, but by having the boss, he's a minister, send me. And you as a public servant, even though a public officer, even though you're in a supervisory position or even a director, you can't buck where the minister send you. And the minister is satisfied.
Paying people to vote. And we as Belizeans need to hold ourselves accountable for selling away our democratic right for whatever amount of money. And is it something easy? No, because we've been indoctrinated to believe that it's okay to hustle one politician out of $100 or $150 for your vote.
Well, how do you break something that has become so entrenched in the public thinking? You can't legislate that, can you?
Well, you could make it illegal. And I trust it might already be illegal for people to be paying persons to vote.
But how do you monitor that? How do you keep a check on that when it's remote? I give you this money, nobody know they're wrong. And I already asked for that your trust that you want to do what you tell me to do when I give you this money. How do you deal with that?
How do you deal with that? In a way, I don't have the answer to that, but I think that...
And I'm not asking it rhetorically. I'm really asking, are we trying to reach solutions that are not applicable to the reality of our situation on the ground?
And that's a good way to put it, but I think, how do we change that mindset? It starts with in each and every one of our households.
Okay.
We have to do better as parents in how we raise our children. We have to lead better in terms of civic pride, civic duty, in educating them on their constitutional rights.
Okay.
And the matter of corruption and anti-corruption must be at the forefront of the education system, because these are all corrupt practices. I listened last night and I smiled when I heard the very good Honorable Oscar Requena speak to the rubbish that the cabinet secretary would have accidentally, who spoke of nonsense and rubbish last night, were the same gentlemen that perverted and corrupted the appointment of the director. Because had they not corrupt that appointment with the Ministry of Finance, it had to be a collusion with the Ministry of Finance, who issues contract, because they have now contracted that post rather than going through the commission, because the commission would have knocked that down. The commission would have said, look, there are rules and regulations on how people fill posts, and clearly the manner in which you want to fill this post and the candidate of your choice does not meet the requisite criteria in accordance with the public service regulation and in accordance with the selection and recruitment manual, which guides how we fill posts in the public service. So I have to smile when I listen to these gentlemen talk about nonsense and rubbish. You corrupted the process of filling the post, and that is the backlash now that you have to deal with. So be a man, be men. Accept that you all are a part of the problem that caused this, whether it's a substantiated leak or not. You corrupted the appointment, which caused people to be disgruntled. Now this is what happened, because the Ministry of Finance, who issued that contract,
illegally going to Benny's and asking Benny's for the commission based on whatever, and then taking that money and split it between the minister and the CEO. I didn't know that the Public Service Commission would have been involved in that any at all.
No. I think you're not following the trend.
Okay.
The trend is that the allegation being levied upon the good gentleman, who I have nothing but respect for, and I do consider him somebody that I can reason with and speak to, Brother Galvez.
All right.
So
Charles.
I want to put that out there. Enough respect for the gentleman.
Yeah, and no Charles.
But clearly, this happened because the process of his appointment was a corrupt process.
I see. So it was he was just placed. But again, because he was not placed as a kind of like a open vote regular man. This is a man where he's a part of the process, the political process. He's in the hierarchy, and so he was placed there as a political appointment.
Illegally, in my view, or contrary to the regulations, contrary to how you fill the post.
And you're saying that
contrary to the selection and recruitment manual.
If he had carried out his duties as an appointed person or placed there politically and did not have this over his head, would that have been an issue?
I could bet you, had that post been filled in accordance with the selection and recruitment manual, in accordance with the criteria outlined in the public service regulation, that text message would not have reached the Prime Minister. That text message reached the Prime Minister.
Somebody was disgruntled.
Because somebody or some persons, as they say, is or are disgruntled. And I will say this, the Belizean people might also be asking themselves, what does this have to do with me? Well, you'll feel it in your pocket.
This
because this also has opened a door for a lawsuit. And it is my understanding that a lawsuit is coming because there has been the violation of the legitimate expectation of officers who have also worked their way up, qualified themselves to matriculate in the public service. You can't violate my right in accordance with the regulation for upward mobility. You don't have that because you don't want political appointee. And that's why I said to people, I could be friends with either want to be part of the solution or we want to be a part of the problem. And clearly, the minister and the CEO are a part of the problem because they created the mess that unfolded over the last 2 days.
All right, let's take our second break, and our guest, as you hear, is the president of the PSU, and we will open the phone lines in about a half hour's time. We see a call coming in, but we'll ask you to wait until we've completed our conversation with Mr. Flowers. We'll take the break.
If music is your passion, this is your moment. What's going on, guys? Ash Blees here. This January, the future of our sound comes together at the Big Tune Music Empowerment Forum. This national forum brings together artists, producers, DJs, managers, educators, and music stakeholders to build skills, spark dialogue, and strengthen Belize's music sector. Join the opening ceremony and music mixer on Friday, January 23rd at 7 p.m. Then level up at the Capacity Building Forum on Saturday, January 24th from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Both of them, they happen at the Bliss Center in Belize City. Topics include music, business, production, marketing, AI, genre development, and full music ecosystem. The deadline to register is January 16th, and for more information, you can call 227-2110 or email nsarccsbelize@gmail.com. Big Tune Empowerment Forum, where Belize's music moves forward. Let's go. See you there.
When working with sheetrock, you need screws that give you quick penetration for a speedy, stable installation. Best Screws, fast frame and fast finish drywall screws are specifically designed for you. Engineered by Best Manufacturing, Best Screws makes every job faster and easier. These screws offer reliable performance with a superior hold. You also save money due to Best Screws affordability. They are cheaper than the leading brands. Get the job done quickly without compromising on strength. For all your drywall installations, get Best Screws Fast Frame and Fast Finish. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Need to submit your sickness benefit claim online and have a physical medical certificate? Here's how you can do it. First, go to ssvportal.org.bz and log into your My Social Security account. Next, on your dashboard, click Benefits and choose Forms. Review the requirements, then click Continue to proceed. Click Apply under Sickness Benefit to start your claim. Review and confirm your banking information. If it is not correct, select No and follow the steps to update your banking details. If your banking information is correct, select Yes. Next, if your illness is not related to an injury at work, select
o muy exigente, la tensión se acumula y lo estresa. El estrés ataca a todos en cualquier momento, a cualquier edad. El estrés es un asesino. Es mejor estar vivo que muerto, así que visite la farmacia de Freetown para obtener opciones.
Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué puedo hacer para usted hoy?
Estoy bien estresado.
Ok, tengo una pastilla que te va a ayudar, ¿ok? Que toma una de eso al día para 10 días y va a estar bien después, ¿sabes?
Ok. Farmacia Freetown, carretera 28 Freetown, donde estás mejor vivo que muerto. Farmacia Freetown, teléfono 22 32 87 6.
shines brightest when the community comes together. Join us as we lift our hearts in support of Dr. Ek. An evening of healing, unity, and music brought to you by Madisco and Niche. Friday, 30th January, 7 p.m. at the House of Culture. $100 per person, $50 for tables seating up to 6. Music and entertainment by Firestarter Song, Stone Jam, DJ Clark and Smurf Entertainment, and DJ Woody. Great music, good vibes, raffle prizes, food and drinks, plus complimentary glass of wine at the door. Prayer of healing at 7 p.m. For tickets or more information, call or WhatsApp at 624-1828. Hope for Dr. Ek, a fundraising event. Friday, 30th January, 7 p.m. at the House of Culture. See you there.
For decades, BEL has powered Belize's growth and progress, lighting homes, energizing industries, and few are becoming power partners. Energy is no longer a one-way street. BEL is making key investments that will reinforce the grid to make this a reality, ensuring energy security for generations. At BEL, we are more than an energy provider. We work to safeguard Belize's energy future, which will have demand response programs, where customers will be able to shift use during peak hours to take advantage of the new time of use or off-peak rate structures, customer energy portals, real-time insights and tools to track usage and manage energy smarter, smart metering, advanced metering infrastructure, faster, safer service and actionable energy insights, distributed generation, integrating rooftop solar, microgrids and battery storage for two-way power flows into the national grid. Together, we are bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
a governance standpoint, what exactly worries you most about the creating of this semi-autonomous tax authority? Is it the concern mainly about jobs and the conditions of service for the staff? Or is this also about revenue control, accountability, and the future of the public financing beliefs?
Definitely for the Public Service Union, Nuri, it's the latter. The government, of course, has pretty much said to us that they would want us to limit our participation and our discussion to this process to just jobs. And we're saying to them that we cannot do that because we have a duty and a social and a civic duty and a responsibility to also the Belizean people to ensure that accountability and transparency prevails at all times in the public service. Because if that does not prevail, then jobs means nothing. As a matter of fact, once you don't have accountability and transparency, public officers suffers because there has not been a single government in the history of this country that has not come to public officers to take away their money, to take away their increment when there is no money to pay debts or to provide public service. It is always public officers that
they have access to. They don't have access to private money, so they would normally have to take it from us.
Hence the reason why I'm saying that we then have a greater role and responsibility to ensure that where accountability of tax dollars are concerned, that we safeguard that in our best interests. So, why is this transition of great importance to us? One, the government of Belize, and this is PUDP, over the years has statutarized many government departments. Many government departments that are currently managing hundreds of millions of dollars, and I dare say perhaps even $1 billion, and nobody knows what those current statutory bodies are doing with those tax-paying dollars that ideally were intended to go into the consolidated revenue fund. So a lot of public funds have now been put in the management of private hands with no accountability. And people may want to know where I'm getting at. And I want to remind people about Imarbe. Currently a statutory body that the good Lord Ashcroft did not want to release. You know why? You know why? You could imagine the amount of money that was passing through there. Board of Management. Every time I go to one of the Boston Point, Nuri, I have to pay $20 or $30 for park if I want to left my vehicle there. And that happens. You're looking at the Belize Companies and Corporate Affairs Registry. Well, no, we can't go in and now. If you try to visit there, they're like the U.S. Embassy. The administrative overhead cost there right now is amazing. They have now restructured how they do business. They're generating at least $200 to $300 million. $million a year. You have the Belize Airport Authority, who could have in one day signed contracts in the millions of dollars. They're getting a lot of head tax coming out of PGID and in the utilization of these other municipal airstrip. You have COSESNA, and that's a unit attached to the Belize Civil Aviation Authority, which is not accounting for a couple millions that they're getting. We have the Belize Tourism Board that's juggling perhaps $500 million. We have PAC. We have the Belize Port Authority that collects for all these vessels. We have the Pesticide Control Board. Right now, the biggest thing, the pesticides. And what's the accountability there? We have NICH. You know how many millions of dollars are passing through NICH on a daily basis without accountability? We have the Public Utilities Commission, where people have to get license from. The Building Authority. We have BAHA. People have to do importation, no accountability, no publishing of financial statements. So just looking at those statutory bodies, the Belize Marketing and Development Corporation, now then the Dry Food, then they expand. Who is accounting for that? So they look perhaps in excess of $1 billion that is being managed by private political appointees, by private hands, rather than coming into the public funds. Now, the government is saying to us, the largest revenue earning authority that remains, which is the Belize Tax Services Department, we want to put that in a private hands to manage too. Because the minute you put a board in place, as is the case of BEL, BTL, the same prime ministers, they want to come and tell a man that the one board is here for us to see through. Exactly. Yeah. So when the Attorney General...
President, many times, what would be the justification? The FinSec has already answered what he said were the union's concerns about this transformation of the tax services. Has the government explained why this reform is absolutely necessary to be done with the existing public service framework? Or, I mean, you've just named a long list of various statutory. PSU is trying to block it and say, let it remain as the present status.
I don't want to see.
Because there's also the argument that there will be increased efficiency, there will be they've given a whole lot of reasons why this transformation is necessary, especially for efficiency.
Yes, I don't want to say that we're trying to block anything. I think that what we are trying to ensure is that whatever shape or form this SARA takes on, a draft legislation has been submitted to the AG Ministry months ago. They don't even want to share the draft with us so that we can weigh in on the draft. The human resource policies, they refuse, the justification that, that efficiency is utter nonsense. I was looking for the project document for which the government of Belize would have borrowed $28 million from the IDB, $28 million to bring about greater efficiency, to bring about one more robust tax department that has better technology. That's why you see the new IRIS and all of these things are there now, the amalgamated department. We borrowed $28 million to make the tax services department efficient. And I wanted to read off the objectives, because the objectives will tell you it is to, first thing, enhance revenue collection, greater efficiency, build capacity, modernize technology. So if we borrowed $28 million, Nuri, under this very administration in 2020, 2021, to achieve that, how can you come back to me and tell me now that SARA is to achieve just that? So where's the accountability of that $28 million? Has the government of Belize come back to the Belizean people? Has the Ministry of Finance, through the Financial Secretary, come back and said, this is how the $28 million was spent, and these were the objectives that we achieved, or these were the objectives that we did not achieve, because we're still there in the same place we were before we borrowed the $28 million. So how can I sit idle by as a citizen of this country and watch the Financial Secretary push this nonsense on Belizean people? And what is even sadder is that without any economic justification or otherwise, Cabinet has already agreed on this thing. So I ask myself, what exactly, how does Cabinet, do these people really make informed decisions?
Where's due diligence?
Where's the due diligence? None of these ministers, none, can appear here tomorrow or any other day and explain to you the economic analysis and the justification for SARA. The Financial Secretary cannot do that. The Director of Belize Tax Services cannot do that. And I'm calling them out. Come here and prove to us that where this proposed transfer is right there through me. The Financial Secretary said, with respect to the request for the circulation of documents related to SARA, I wish to clarify that internal working papers, technical advisory reports, and draft analysis prepared for government, not for the public. We don't got no business with this. We do what we want. So I just said, what was wrong with these people Do they have the audacity to put these things in black and white? No. And what are we going to be as Belizeans? I'm doing my part to say, when cabinet makes a decision, it is not a decree. It is not a decree. When cabinet makes a decision, that is when the real debate really starts now. Because cabinet have to explain and justify why that decision. That decision has to go to the House for debate, it go to the Senate for debate, it come to the people for consultation, and that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. But these people have the audacity to say to us, when cabinet make a decision that one cardinal decree, man, you have to sit in your corner, you not question that, because cabinet know what they do. And that's why we're in the shithole that we're in economically and constitutionally, because of this same type of Trumpian mentality. It's
kind of
whereby we can't question authority. No, man, I'm not accepting that. As a citizen of this country, I will not accept that. And I am challenging the Belizean people to push back against this, because we will all be affected by these bullish type of unjustified decisions, which will not only affect the workers there, but will affect the greater Belizean public.
We'll take our next break. When we come back, we'll open up the phone lines. Our guest, as you can tell, is the president, very forceful president of the Public Service Union.
First-time homeowner. I always dream of owning my own home. I'm a single mom of 2 boys, so I want to leave something for my children.
In my case, moving up here in Ladyville in 1978, it was a similar housing program, and my grandmother bring us up here to Ladyville. I was 1 year old and came into a housing program in the New Site area. And that changed our life completely, because basically my grandmother said we were from house to house in Belize City. I had a roof over my head, you don't have to worry about moving and stuff like that. So I could feel the same joy that Shahid and others, the hundreds who have already received houses before. So I would like to see more of this get done in Ladyville, and of course the country of Belize. No?
Many young people right now, it's kind of difficult to get your own land and a home. So for me, it's a great opportunity to start. I know it's mine, I go in.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call information, remain safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
When you done hear about how you could shop online with Builders Hardware?
It's easy and convenient. Plus, you get special deals and discounts online where you not get in at the store. Just log on to shopbuildersbz.com and pay with your Visa, MasterCard, debit or credit card. You could choose to pick up your order from the smart Lacaneda builders or Easy could deliver for you. If that was a big thing, the builder's truck could deliver for you. If you need more information about anything, you could start chat right here online with a salesperson. We're ready to help you. No need to burn gas and waste time in a traffic. Go to shopbuildersbz.com.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy.
We are now going to open the phone lines so that you may present whatever concern you have. Please keep it in the subject and or question you might have for Mr. Flowers, the president of the PSU. But we have many other areas here that we want to deal with this morning. I want to go to Baja because you've also talked about Baja as one of the statutory board. Your union has accused the management of breaching the collective bargaining agreement. A lot of us don't understand this concept of a CBA, so you might want to give a brief understanding of what that is and why you are having problems with Baja not, in fact, honoring the CBA. Please. And our numbers here, 280-5848, if you'd like to address it to the president. 280-5848, sir.
So thanks for the opportunity again, Nuri, to just update the Belizean people on the challenges that we're having with Baja. Baja, of course, is the Belize Agricultural Health Authority, another statutory body that believes...
Tell Belizeans what exactly they do.
Okay, Baja is responsible to safeguard pretty much our agriculture sector in terms of preventing the influx of diseases. Recently, we were also faced with the screwworm that attacked our cattle and that part of the industry, animals. They also responsible for ensure that cattle that move in and out of this country are safe for consumption, and more so the vegetables and so on. So in essence, they are responsible to safeguard food security and food safety. Yeah. Right. So Baja was statutorized in 2000. That's 25 years ago. And as a statutory body, they were subsidized initially, and they continue to be slightly subsidized from what I understand. I can't even definitively say that, because Baha is also one of those statutory bodies that believe that they don't have to report to the Belizean people. The Baha Act, like every statutory board act, is explicitly clear that they're required by law to keep accounts and to have those accounts audited by an independent auditor annually, and to be presented to the minister, who should then lay it on the table for all of us to be able to.
So is that happening?
That's not happening. And
it used to happen and not happening lately, or from the 25 years?
It has never happened.
Wow.
It has never happened.
So who is responsible, besides the union calling them out, who is responsible supervisorily to make sure that that takes place?
Well, every statutory body is run by a board. And so every board that oversees a statutory body that is not compliant with the law is a corrupt board. All of them are corrupt, and they've been corrupt from the day they were established, because they're not fulfilling the letter of the law. The board has a duty to ensure that the minister gets that audited financial statement, and the board has a responsibility that, in compliance with the Baha Act or any other act that governs a statutory body, that those financial statements are laid. But we can't even get the financial statements of the country laid. So in essence, we're governed by corrupt leaders, in essence, because nobody follows the law. Nobody follows the law. The previous prime minister was accused of spending billions without getting parliamentary approval.
You know, we talked earlier, before you came, about the differences of crime. Most of our crime is on the street. But these are crimes that you're talking about.
These are crimes.
You're breaking the law.
You're breaking the law, and these crimes are much more detrimental to society than the young man where they shoot the young wife on the street. Because this one, that what they cause the young wife to shoot the young wife on the street. Because if these people who are committing these white collar crimes were being held accountable and Belize was being run properly, the quality of life for all of us would be very high.
Better.
We juggle about $4 billion in a business in this country, Nuri, 400,000 people, and government coffers that we know about, because we still don't know, and government coffers that we know about, because we still don't know about the billion where they in the statutory bodies. And look at the quality of life that we're living. It says to us that we're being robbed, that public funds is being transferred into private hands, and that is what is causing this poor quality of life that we're living.
And it contributes to the crime on the street.
And it contributes to the crime because people have to survive. But coming back to Baha, which is also in breach of laying on the table their financial statements, we also have a collective bargaining agreement with the employees at Baha, or with the board at Baha, that governs the terms and conditions of service of those employees. Baha recently dismissed 2 employees without following the disciplinary process as outlined in the collective bargaining agreement. And we challenged them on it respectfully. And in essence, they said to us that they do not have to abide by the CBA. And I'm saying to them, how can you can't, even one criminal have to have a day in court, even one criminal have to face the accuser. The CBA outlines that you have to have a disciplinary panel, and these persons must be afforded the right to an appeal if it is that they disagree with the decision of the disciplinary panel. And so that is where we're bucking heads. In addition to that, the CBA also says that where the terms and conditions of the officers at Baha is concerned, whenever you will change those terms and conditions of service, it has to be in consultation and in dialogue with the representative of those workers, which is the Public Service Union. Recently, as a result, I can only say it is as a result of the impasse we are having with Baha, where those employees is concerned, and Baha's refusal to give them the right to an appeal. Baha board took a decision in December to grant a salary adjustment, a 10% salary adjustment to its employees, which is something that we welcomed. The law says that if the board makes such a decision which significantly change the terms and conditions, that Baha then notifies the union. But because of the Baha decided that they will have no conversation with the union and they will just effect this as they see fit. And we wrote to them respectfully, in violation of the CBA. in violation of a legally binding CBA. We wrote to them and said, you cannot continue to behave like this. Grow the hell up. Grow up, come to the table, and let's do this thing the right way. We support and will endorse any improvement in terms and conditions of our work.
Let me stop you for a second, because I do want you to continue with this, and we have a few more questions likewise. But you're saying something that's crucial. Where is this sense of accountability that we used to talk about some years ago? Because if we see something wrong, it sounds like you're saying you have no access to correct it if there is no accountability. If you cannot take your concerns here to a higher authority, maybe just the court is the only thing we have left. But if we can appeal to someone who is supervising what's going on in Baja so that...
To ventilate. Baja was immovable from their position despite we showing to them the clear violation. I've also written to the minister, the CEO, and the board chair.
This, in this case, would be Ferguson.
Yes, Rodwell Ferguson. I've written to the minister. I've written to Hugh O'Brien, the Baja board chair, who the managing director reports to. I've also copied in the CEO of the Ministry of Agriculture. And I've said to them, look, we cannot continue in their strained relationship. It will only affect the labor and industrial relations that should be one that is conducive to the objectives of Baja and the union. The Labor Commissioner has said to us that where those terminations are concerned, she is prepared to entertain us in a conciliation effort. And I want to acknowledge her this morning as well, and the Deputy Labor Commissioner, in taking the bold step to say that where one of those terminations are concerned, the PSU has the right to have that heard by the Labor Complaints Tribunal. And so that they have ruled on that. They have written to us. I have not seen Baja's response to that. They have 14 days, I believe it is, to respond. And we're hoping that this matter will be heard by a tribunal and this officer will be vindicated. This is an officer that was fired very unfairly, in my humble opinion, for what Baja is claiming, failure to follow instructions to dispose of some limes. Some limes that they found on the wayside, Nuri. They found some lime on the wayside. Very good limes. They distributed some to the children's home and so on. Some of the limes weren't good. So then tell the officer, got your way down mile 24. On his way to mile 24, the officer stops at the gas station. And while at the gas station, the pump attendant, two pump attendants, take some of the limes, about maybe 10, 20 limes.
This is the lime to be discarded?
Yes.
Okay.
And another person came and took about 5 limes. And they saw that as going to send this person home and disrupt this person's 15-year career.
On the basis of what? That he allowed these people?
Yes, on the basis that he allowed those people to take those limes.
But this was discarded lime.
Exactly.
He was on his way to dispose of them.
Yes.
And because somebody took some of the lime that was to be disposed of, they are now being charged with not following instructions.
Terminated.
Wow.
End your career. Sent him home without no benefits after 15 years of service, 15 or 17 years of service.
For that?
For that. It does not align, the punishment does not align with the breach. So, and the CBA has several different punishments for when people might violate.
And it's not to send you home.
But it's not to send you home. So I want to applaud the Labor Commissioner because that is going before the tribunal. So the tribunal will hear that case. The other officer may have to very well go to the Supreme Court, as you said. But I also want to acknowledge the Honorable Rodwell Ferguson this morning, who acknowledged receiving my correspondence and who has given me a date for us to have a sit down and to see if we can talk a little bit of sense into the board of Baja and the managing director, who again I will repeat are not abiding by the CBA.
But I'm surprised you mentioned a name, a person I have great respect for, Mr. Hugh O'Brien. I'm surprised to hear that you say that he is there when he is such a tickler for transparency and making sure that things are going correctly. What's going on?
Well, he has an opportunity to prove that. He is aware of every single disagreement, of every breach that we've filed about the managing director, because I ensure that he's copied in on everything as the board chair, and I've not heard a singular response from him.
Wow.
The only thing I've heard from him is that I took it upon myself to go and shake his hand. If you receive my correspondence, sir. And that is when he said, yes, I acknowledge receiving it, and I will have a conversation and get back to you. I've not heard back from him. And this to go on for years, that I ensure that my office copies in on everything. So I said to these people, it's not personal, but if you're going to hold position of authority, you will be held accountable once I sit in the position.
There's no personality in these matters.
I will hold you accountable.
All right, well, listen, I'm saying that the numbers here is 280-5848, giving you an opportunity to call in and to make your concerns known. We'll take our last break and we'll come back and continue the conversation with Mr. Flowers.
If music is your passion, this is your moment. What's going on, guys? Ash Blees here. This January, the future of our sound comes together at the Big Tune Music Empowerment Forum. This national forum brings together artists, producers, DJs, managers, educators, and music stakeholders to build skills, spark dialogue, and strengthen Belize's music sector. Join the opening ceremony and music mixer on Friday, January 23rd at 7 p.m. Then level up at the Capacity Building Forum on Saturday, January 24th from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Both of them, they happen at the Bliss Center in Belize City. Topics include music, business, production, marketing, AI, genre development, and full music ecosystem. The deadline to register is January 16th, and for more information, you could call 227-2110 or email nsarccsbelize@gmail.com. Big Tune Empowerment Forum, where Belize's music moves forward. Let's go. See you there.
En Atlantic Bank, tu comodidad es nuestra prioridad. Nuestro centro de contacto está diseñado para mejorar tu experiencia bancaria. Con una amplia gama de opciones de servicio al cliente, ahorras tiempo y esfuerzo. Puedes llamar fácilmente para bloquear o desbloquear tus tarjetas de débito y crédito, realizar consultas de cuentas y acceder a información detallada de tus tarjetas. Ya sea que necesites asistencia con la banca en línea, apoyo para comercios o consultas generales, nuestro equipo está listo para ayudarte. Para mayor comodidad, si todos los operadores están ocupados, puedes dejar tu número y un operador te devolverá la llamada lo antes posible para asegurarse de que recibas el apoyo que necesitas. Para mayor seguridad, es posible que necesitemos verificar tu identidad con un conjunto de preguntas sencillas. Recuerda, Atlantic Bank nunca solicitará tu nombre de tu usuario ni contraseña de Atlantic Online por llamada telefónica, mensaje de texto o correo electrónico, asegurando que tu información personal permanezca segura y protegida. Nuestro equipo de apoyo está disponible de lunes a viernes, de 8 a.m. a 6 p.m. en inglés y en español. Simplemente marca al 223-1212. Esta es la línea dedicada para nuestro centro de contacto. Atlantic Bank se compromete a brindarte un servicio excepcional y las herramientas que necesitas para administrar tus finanzas de manera conveniente y segura. Aprovecha al máximo nuestro servicio del centro de contacto.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Start earning B-Bucks today. It's really quite easy. All you have to do is make a purchase at any Benny's location or Benny's entity.
Benefit to start your claim. Review and confirm your banking information. Benefit to start your claim. Review and confirm your banking information. If it is not correct, select No and follow the steps to update your banking details. If your banking information is correct, select Yes. Next, if your illness is not related to an injury at work, select No and proceed to upload. Illness is not related to an injury at work. Select No and proceed to upload your medical certificate.
select music brought to you by Madisco and Mitch. Friday, 30th January, 7 p.m. at the House of Culture. $100 per person, $50 for tables seating up to 6. Music and entertainment by Firestarter Song, Stone Jam, DJ Clark and Smurf Entertainment, and DJ Woody. Great music, good vibes, raffle prizes, food and drinks, plus complimentary glass of wine at the door. Prayer of Healing at 7 p.m. For tickets or more information, call or WhatsApp at 624-1828. Hope for Dr. Eck, a fundraising event. Friday, 30th January, 7 p.m. at the House of Culture. See you there.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
Dean Flowers, the president of the PSU. And Dean, I wanted you to finish up what you wanted to say in terms of the Baja, but I also want to have you weigh in on this acquisition by BTL and Smart.
Yes.
Proposed acquisition.
My final comment on Baja.
That with me, but we didn't share with the audience.
No.
Actually, this is a letter from some of the union members requesting their 10% as promised, but criticizing the union as if we don't want the union involved in our negotiations. So that's what he's referring to as union busting.
Yeah. So in a sense, it's addressed to the MD, even though before it went out, it went to Belmopan and Belmopan said, yeah, good, send it out. But management staff, people on contract in Baja, people where our taxpaying dollars, they pay to safeguard our food security, fuel up Baja vehicle, grown ASS men, and travel across this country. And thank God nothing bad never happened to them by way of karma, to take advantage of innocent people, to say to them, if you don't sign this petition against the Public Service Union, you're not getting no salary adjustment. In a MAGA season,
but
one month like January.
Can they do that?
Well, they did it. I will, of course, address this matter because it's union busting, so we will address this matter whenever
So I'm asking you in terms of depriving them of this lucrative thing.
No, they could not have deprived them of the 10%.
No, I'm talking about the little side order thing about fueling up your vehicle without accountability.
Yes. Well, the managing director is the only one who could have authorized the fueling of those vehicles and the deployment of senior management staff from north to south to sign a petition against the Public Service Union.
And who's the?
And I'm hoping that the chairman will hold her accountable.
Who's that management?
The managing director is right here. That's her name.
All right, good.
Right? She's the only one who could have authorized those officers to do that. Especially those contract officers who are doing that. And I want to say to them this morning, shame for you. You're supposed to be shame on yourself. Because you take advantage of people innocence and people desperation
and ignorance and
ignorance.
Yeah.
Because if the Public Service Union, if these officers do not enjoy the benefit of the Public Service Union representing them in negotiation, in due process, then it won't be just like if they're in the private sector where they could do with them whatever the hell they want. And so I needed to highlight this. This is unacceptable. I, of course, will continue to point out to the Belizean people, to the NTUCB, to the Labor Department, to the tripartite body, this type of behavior, because this must form part of history to ensure that these people their names are etched in the history books forever about being against organized workers.
Union work. I don't want you to go without giving us your overview of the proposed BTL/Smart acquisition.
Well, quickly, if I could just give my quick 2 cents as a citizen, Nuri, because I know the parent umbrella organization NTUCB will controls 30% of the market. I believe they say they control and have 100,000. We have to ask what of the quality of customers that Smart have. So yes, they might have that, but the cost per they might have that, but the cost per customer might not be sufficient operational cost to have them as customers. It could be that all Smart customers, they're in remote areas where they spend $5 a month. So it costs Smart more money if they have them as customers to provide that service. So saying to me that Smart, they generate or they control 30% of the market means absolute nothing. What the Belizean people needs to look at is the financial statements of Smart. We need to understand whether we acquire debt from Smart, because it could very well mean that while Smart control 30% of the market, Smart still they lose money because it costs them more than they earn to service those 100,000 people. It's better for BTL to have 50,000 customers who have one $40 plan like me, that what, Nuri, $2 million, than for B Smart, we have 100,000 customers with one $10 plan or one $5 plan. So it means that liquidity-wise, they're probably terrible. We need to know that when we
is that your major objection to the acquisition?
Yes, because we don't know whether the customer base of Smart is sufficiently contributing to offset the cost to service them, and that are just the service thing. You have to look at interconnection fees, you have to look at administrative overhead, you have to look at all these things. So it is rumored that Smart is not making any money. We don't know how far Smart was financed. Was it pure equity, or is it that they have a balance sheet that is showing liabilities of $90 million?
What about the question of monopoly? Is that a concern?
The question of monopoly is always a concern and should always be a concern to any one of us.
What do you think about Mr. Shabat saying, well, in fact, we have 23 different broadband access here, and it cannot be a monopoly?
Well, I think that's semantics. I think I believe as it relates to the digital technology that we all utilize, which is phone and data, we already know that these are the two providers primarily. The other cable providers, yes, people still get data from them, but it is not. It is insignificant.
So you really think his comments is muddying the water,
of course,
and hiding the reality?
Of course. Look,
I see.
the Belizean people need to know that BTL does not wish to buy Smart. The chairman of BTL want BTL to buy Smart because he couldn't even convene a board of directors meeting to put the motion on the floor. So BTL no one buy Smart. The chairman want BTL buy Smart. Smart want BTL buy the old. Nobody wants Smart. Nobody wants Smart except the chairman want BTL buy Smart, because if BTL really wanted to buy Smart, then that board would have met, as far as I'm concerned, and would have looked at this matter. And the Belizean people are supposed to resist this if we do not know what kind of debt we will be acquiring if we buy out Smart, and whether or not the revenues that Smart generate is sufficient enough to meet their operational costs in servicing their 100,000 customers and meeting their administrative expense, including servicing their debt. So I, for one, am prepared to hit the streets, not because of the efficiency that could be gained, but because I do not think that this is good for Belize, especially when every step of the way, when this thing starts, oh, they couldn't talk because they have one NDA. Every step of the way that NDA. Once you trouble because of technology, well, guess what? Trouble because of technology, well, guess what? If you take BTL 5 years to get in a trouble, then that means you take Smart less than 1 year. So better you fall and we get our assets for leave it going anywhere. They own the infrastructure. The nonsense with Smart investment is, it is in BTL. We will continue to support BTL. And I would have warned the Belizean people from 2020, when they try and cut BTL with that Microsoft deal. That was the first act by this administration that we need to divert businesses. And where BTL business, where certain services in terms of revenue has decreased, it is interesting for us to see on Smart books whether those services was merely transferred there and for their service increase. And I could bet be primarily government services. So for the Prime Minister to talk nonsense that he now cares for BTL is pure nonsense, and I reject that, and I reject this sale as a citizen of this country.
All right, I'll give you a final word, brother. Thank you very much for your very, very interesting opinions today, but we'll give you a final word.
Well, Nuri, thanks again for the opportunity. I really always enjoy coming on CREM, because one thing about CREM always give me enough time to say what I want to say. A lot of media houses would always invite me on, but the shows are too compact and we normally rush through. But I want to really thank CREM for the opportunity that we could really have one true dialogue, and I'm hoping that the conversation this morning would have served to help to inform the Belizean people that we have to do more as citizens. We have to inform ourselves more, we have to ask more questions, and we need to hold leaders accountable. We cannot continue to accept that a government comes into power on a basis of accountability and transparency, and then simply reads 20 good governance motion without making any meaningful efforts or steps to strengthen the oversight bodies. I want to call on the FIU, please do something where the unexplained wealth and asset recovery legislation is concerned. Our resources are being exploited by corrupt private and public sector citizens that we need it back. I want to call on the Integrity Commission, please resign or do something in holding these elected officials and politically exposed persons accountable where they're enriching themselves and there is no explanation as to how they're gaining those wealth. If you can't do the job, please resign. It is not only us that will be hurt, it is our children, it is your children. So we all have one lot for the Nuri, and I hope that these type of dialogues can continue. And I want to again invite the Financial Secretary and the Director General to come and present the economic analysis and the justification and the Cartac report that explains why we need to now take our taxpayers' dollars and put it in the management and our board of directors.
Which is, we thank Mr. Larry Guerrero downstairs. Upstairs we had Christy Flowers on MCO, Mr. Clifton Lewis like usual. I did hear also Harlan Wagner, and the crew was here. But most important, and we look forward to you being with us again tomorrow so that we can continue this premier conversation. So Belizeans, stand strong and stand firm. And for now, we're gone.
Get up, make every day count out wasted people. Do your part, play around, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling is the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in, trouble your bed. Wake up, Belize,